We started this class talking about computers, and then last week we talked about parts and song form, right? Now, it's sort of ironic because today I actually want to start with the most core part of music, with the most core pieces. When you hear a song, the first thing that song has is a pulse. And a pulse is a repeating something that you can identify. It's usually some sort of beat or emphasis rhythmically, sonically, right, that you hear, and you can nod your head to it, okay? Most of us, that's how we define music. When we stop having a pulse, it starts to become ambience, right? And there is really ambient music out there, like for yoga and massage, but most of the music we listen to, there's some sort of pulse going on. Okay, some sort of pulse. And I am going to lecture off, not that. These things I have here, the lecture notes, Quizlet, YouTube playlist, right? So I'm going to hop over to YouTube, or the Quizlet playlist first. So that pulse is the basic repetition of some sort of sonic emphasis, right? The speed at which that pulse goes by, like the speed of our heartbeat, or the speed at which we're walking, or the speed at which we're breathing, is called the tempo, okay? And that tempo, we measure that tempo in beats per minute, okay? So beats per minute is how fast the tempo is going. Our heart beats at about 60 beats per minute, right? Okay. A fast song gets up to about 3 times that, 180 beats per minute. A normal song is somewhere around double that, around 120 beats per minute. And we see in Logic, right, that 120 beats per minute is sort of the default tempo it shows. I don't think I have I do right here. In Logic, you'll see the tempo right here, okay? And somewhere around 120 is a normal tempo, okay? How fast the song is going. These beats are then clustered into groups or small looping units, loops basically, and we call those measures or bars. A measure or bar is a loop of a certain number of beats or pulses, okay? And how many beats or pulse are in a measure or bar is called the meter, okay? So the meter is, hey, there's a certain number of beats per bar before you loop it. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And our most common meters are, down here at the bottom, 4/4, 3/4, and 6/8. What does that mean? Well, 4/4 means, hey, there's 4 beats, and each beat is a quarter note. So the top is the number of beats, the bottom is the note value, and I'll explain that in just a second, okay? But this says there are 4 notes that are quarter notes in this measure, or bar, before you loop it. There are 3 notes that are quarter notes in this one before you loop it. What is this one saying, anyone?
6 beats.
There are 6 beats that are eighth notes in a bar, okay, or measure before it's looped. This is called the meter. So the measure is the unit of measurement. It's like an inch on a ruler. The meter is how do we divide up that inch. On a ruler, it's always the same, right? When we look at a ruler, it's always divided in half, divided in half, divided in half, divided in half, right? So we have half inch, we have a quarter inch, we have eighth inch, and down to a 16th of an inch. Okay. In 4/4 time, that's basically what we have. We do the same thing. We divide that measure into quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, or half notes, or even whole notes, okay? But when we go to these other times, that 3/4 or that 6/8 time, are the 2 main other ones we use, we actually start changing the lines on that ruler. They're not divided in half. Now it's divided in 3, right? And I was talking about 3 and the idea, well, maybe I wasn't in this class yet. The idea of 3, when you start cutting something in 3, you start to not have a halfway point. And when you do that, it causes us to want to sway a little bit. We have this instinct to subconsciously want to find the center between 2 beats, but there isn't a center. There's 3, and it causes the thing called swinging or swaying. Okay, so 6/8 and 3/4 are meters that have 3 in them and make more of a more lateral motion in our bodies for some reason. Okay. The speed at which we play, the beats per minute or the tempo is measured in beats per minute, and there are a couple tempo markings I'd like you to be familiar with. Tempo markings were the Italian terms that were used back in the day the reason I want you to learn Italian terms is that this is where our music comes from, right? We have a long history of listening to music at these different kind of speeds. And for this class, there's going to be 4 basic speeds I want you to know. The slowest of them is Adagio, okay? It's a very slow speed. Andante is kind of a medium speed that you could walk at. Allegro is faster than that, where you'd want to march to it. And presto means an all-out sprint. You're running, okay? We're going to use our legs a lot in this because the way our body moves and our legs move corresponds very closely to how we feel about the music. And especially if you're going to be a DJ or you're working in EDM and the D is the dance part, right? You want to be able to move people around a little bit. If you're not working in EDM, then you want to not bore people with your music. And if you remember, I was talking about how we don't hear the projector in the room, right? Because it's a constant sound. If you keep playing songs at the same tempo, and often at the same meter, but especially at the same tempo over and over, people are going to stop listening. They're going to get bored. You have to be able to change that tempo up. And to do that, I want you to understand that sense of walking around 100 beats per minute, 100 to 110. If you start going slower than that, you're going to slow people down. If you start going faster than that, you're going to speed them up. And a good DJ or arranger or musician will be playing with those speeds to keep interest. Just like you're playing with the loops. Maybe you do song 1 at this speed, song 2 at this speed. Guess what you do for number 3? You change it. You slow it up or speed it down, and then you bring them back to that first speed. Wow, you just had a 4-song set that you held people's interest by manipulating tempo. And now you can do another 4, just like loops, right? Macro version of the loops. A ruler is divided into half, quarter, eighths. A measure can be divided into the same thing, right? Quarter note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note. So a 16th note lasts a 16th of a measure. What does a 16th note mean? A 16th of a measure. That's what it means. An eighth note means an eighth of a measure. Half note means half of a measure. How many eighth notes would it take to make a quarter note, do you think? 2 eighth notes make a quarter note. Just like 2/8 of an inch make a quarter of an inch. Does that make sense to everybody? Really, just the exact same thing. It's just fractions. How many 16th notes would be in a half note? Someone besides Pablo? 8/16, right? Any questions on that? That is everything in Quizlet that I'd like you to know. Just jumping back to look at these notes a little bit. If we're measuring in beats per minute and your teacher is making you use these geeky Italian tempo markings, and you're in the studio in some sort of like, let's say, a hip-hop session, and you're like, yo, can we do like a little adagio sort of thing? You might want to know some of the beats per minute. So you're not, although you might want to do that. Be like, yeah, sometimes I like adagio, but right now I'm feeling more, allegro-ish. What do you think, right? And they'll be like, what are you smoking? Okay, so these are the beats per minute that kind of correlate with that. Less than 80 beats per minute is going to be slow. It's really going to physiologically and psychologically slow the body down. Andante, this is going to be very comfortable tempos. When you're making music in this range, it is not going to make people move too much. They're going to be pretty comfortable in that range. The music's going to be comfortable. AC/DC plays in this range because you should be sitting there drinking your beer, not dancing, right? Michael Jackson, however, is going to move you up here a little bit because he's going to want you to move a little bit. Okay, so that's going to speed up to 110 and 140. Okay, you get above 140, you're sprinting and running. Music that stays up above 140, does anyone have any genres that they know that stay up there pretty high? What's that?
Hardstyle.
Hardstyle?
Yeah.
Drum and bass? Right? Sorry?
Like extreme metal music.
Extreme metal, right? Punk can be very fast. Swing music, salsa music, very fast. Okay? Music that's moving very, very quickly. What about music that's more in the allegro area? What kind of music, what genres do we have in that area? House? Right? EDM, yeah, so there's different types of EDM, right? So house, we got rock and roll was there, definitely, right? A lot of jazz is there. As it gets into swing, it starts to push a little faster, but most jazz is kind of in that mid-range, mid-upper range. What about as we get down here, a little bit slower, what do we get into? We get down to hip-hop, which slows it down, right? What else, some other genres? Trap gets down there, right? What do we got? And there's some types of rock that go down. Does anyone know Some of the heavy metal, right? Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. One of the distinguished features of that they slow it down, right? Okay. There's another big genre that's important down there. R&B, but especially the B part of it, blues, right? Blues is generally very slow music, right? You want to dance down there slow. Swing at the top, blues towards the bottom, right? That makes sense? This is an important concept is that I'm going to want you guys to be able to distinguish between straight and swing or shuffle, okay? Straight means the beat is subdivided evenly. Da 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 da. Swing or shuffle means it's divided by 3. Da 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 da. I'm changing from doubles to triples there. Da 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 da. The triples sound kind of like a march, militaristic almost, straight and square. Da 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 da. When I start doing the triplets, da 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 da. It's got a little bit more motion to it. Triplets will cause you to either sway if they're very slow, or they'll cause you to bounce if they're very fast. And we'll do that here in a second. We'll listen to some bouncy music. Okay. Questions? All right, I want to show you what some of this looks like. So this is a piano score here, okay? And you'll see in the back here, I've got 2 windows open. Actually, I might be able to close this guy. They've changed some things in Logic recently, so bear with me a little bit as I see how they do this, okay? So for some reason here, I measured 25. I'm not sure why I ended up on 25. And on the right, I have the piano matrix. This is called usually the matrix, or the piano scroll editor. And on the left, I have the score editor. Okay, the score editor has been the traditional way of writing music. The piano editor, scroll editor, is a more modern way of doing it. Okay, and if you see here, unfortunately, to here, my high notes are up here. Okay, I have a note called C6. I drag down my low notes down around C1. Okay, most of the range of music we listen to is in that range. The bass is usually around C1 in this area. The accompaniment is somewhere around C2 to C3, and the lead is up above C3 to C maybe 4. Kind of in those range. Sometimes we have some really high notes, way over the top, but it'd be annoying if someone was singing up there for a long time, right? Why? Obviously, I can't hit that note, but right. When I want to put a note in, what I can do is I can hold down the command key, and it turns into a little pencil. So let me go ahead and put a pencil mark. We'll go C3 here. Okay. And I have this note here, and I can drag the length of the note, just like we did with loops. You ever see that? Okay. Just dragging the end of it, I can move it. I can guess how I copy it. I hold down Option, right? Make a copy. Okay. I can drag that, and here I have my tick marks. So this is measured 25 to 26. Okay. A note that lasts half as long. How long? What kind of note would that be? Do you think? Half a measure would be a half of a note, or a half note. Sorry. Okay. So if I made this note a half note long, look what happens over here. It turns it into a half note, and a half note in our musical theory is a open note with a stick coming up, or a stem coming up. Does that make sense? If I changed it down to half that length, so half of a half note would be how long? Quarter note. It changes it automatically to a quarter note. You see that? Okay, so I've got a quarter note there, half note. If I lengthen it, if I want 2 quarter notes, I can drag it, and look, it makes 2 quarter notes for me. I could do the same thing here. I can Option drag that. Quarter note there. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. If I want to now make an 8th note, I could do something like this. And I could make it half as long. And now you'll see that it's a little hard to show here. Let me put 2 of them, it'll show it better. 8th notes have these stems that are tied together. You see that at the top? See how they're tied together at the top? That's how we know it's an 8th note, not a quarter note. I'm going to drag these down, these quarter notes, just so the stems go the other direction. Just the way the app works. Okay. So these are quarter notes at the bottom, 8th notes at the top. I'm going to put 4 quarter notes, and I'm going to put in 8 8th notes, and I should have a full measure of both, right? See at the top there? Eighth notes are half as long as quarter notes, so there's 8 of them in the space that there'd be 4 quarter notes. Beautiful, right? Any questions there? So I can work in this editor here, and there's ways to actually view the note durations. I haven't seen it. Well, maybe I can duration bars. Oh, there we go. Maybe I can edit now. Yes, I can actually edit the link there. It's a little clunky though. Visually, it's a little hard to see, but I can see that I just shorten that. No, it doesn't change the note value, unfortunately. Not going to do it. So most of us will probably end up working over in the matrix view, right? Because we can more easily edit primarily the length of the note. Okay, it's a lot easier to edit lengths of notes. You can see here there's this big space here. And to show that space in a score, I'd have to go draw a rest in there. I'd have to draw a rest in and do some other things. Here, I don't even care about rest. I'm not giving this. If I was to give this to someone else, I'd just send them the MIDI file. They don't need to actually read the notes, right? A little different than it used to be. How many 16 notes would be in a bar then? So I take these, whoops, I cut them in half, option drag, I got my 16th. Right? Bass, accompaniment, lead, boring song, right? So let me change one note. Now it's very exciting, right? Okay. Any questions on that? Does that make sense? I've got, oh, and here's the 16th notes up above. Now, it looks a little odd there. Let me go ahead and delete these eighths. 16th notes have the double bar between them, or double tie, okay, tying the stems together. Make sense? Any questions on that? So when you think of 8th note, 16th note, quarter note, I would like you to be thinking of them as lengths. A 16th is shorter. I'm driving down the freeway, and you know those little bumps in the road that happen between the concrete squares, right? Chiggy, chiggy, chiggy. 16ths would be little tiny concrete squares. Half notes would be long concrete squares. And the speed at which you drive down that freeway is your tempo. Does that make sense? So if I'm going to play across this, and then I want to change the tempo of my song, I can just show it here, actually. The note length didn't change. The speed at which I went across them did. That make sense? Note length is still the same. It's still an eighth note, a quarter note, half note. Just going faster across it. That's pretty fast tempo, right? But you can play fast notes with a slow tempo. Right? You can play 16ths. You can play 30 seconds in a really slow song, right? Each note won't sound fast, but the tempo of the song is very slow. Okay? So that's our first, if the basis of a song is the pulse, the next thing that makes the song interesting is the meter. Okay? When are we going to cycle through that that pulse? And then the next thing that makes the song interesting is the notes that we start playing, right? We can play fast and slow notes at a slow tempo. Okay? Questions on that? All right. Well, I can see you all have been sitting on your rear ends for too long. So let's get up. Move around a little bit. Yes? I know, this is the hardest thing for geeks to do. When sitting in front of a computer screen, one of the important things when you are the DJ of the show is you need to get on the floor and dance a little bit, right? Yeah, to feel your crowd. Or you need to be down there on the floor when someone else is up there playing, right? And you can't be all cool on stage and then walk down and then not be able to clap to the beat or something like that, right? Ben, what's up?
Like with the numbers, how I do it is I always think of it like half is like the big hamburger and like third is smaller than the half. You know, that's how I do it.
Like a half-pound, quarter pounder?
Right.
Just sounding really good right now. Thank you, Ben. Let's see if he didn't. No, I still got his Nutri-Grain bar down there, but not a burger. Okay, so I'm going to play through some songs. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen through some different tempos, right? We're going to listen through songs that are in what are called 4/4 time, very square, and then we're going to listen to some tempos of songs that start to add that triplet in there and feel some of the differences. One's not better than the other, they're just different, right? Okay. So we're going to start with a kind of slow song here, and what we want to do is we want to be able to do 3 things with this song, and we're going to go through them fast in this class because most of you are advanced. So we want to be able to dance. We have to be able to dance, right? Is anyone not able to dance in here? Frankie, this is your chance. Ben? Yeah. All right, Ben, why don't you grab those 2 guys and come on up here? All 3 of you. No, grab them. Bring them with you.
Come on, guys.
Come on, boys. Let's do it. No, you guys can do it. Come on up. I know you can, Frankie. I've seen you. So Ben already knows what we're going to do. That's why he's up here. Okay, so these are your models for the day. Say a round of applause for them. And it will be the last time Frankie or Ben ever speak up in class. Okay, so what usually happens in the music we listen to is beat 1 has some sort of low note, and beat 2 has some sort of high note. It happens in the drums, kick, snare, boom, ba, right? It happens in bluegrass with the bass and the mandolin. Doom, checka, doom, checka, doom, checka, doom, checka, doom, checka, doom, checka. It happens in African drumming, right? Right? There's always some sort of low talking with some sort of high. It's the most basic way of emphasizing the meter of music. Okay? So usually beat 2 has a high note to it. Okay? So what we're going to try to do is we're going to listen through some songs here. And we are going to, with our bodies, feel it in our bodies. We've got to feel it in our bodies, right? We're going to demonstrate that we can hear that meter. We can hear the pulse by doing this, right? We all nod. That's the pulse. Anybody can sit in their car and do that. But if you're in the car and you want the person next to you to ask you for your phone number, you need to show that more than the pulse. Because you do this and they're like, what a dork. And they drive off, right? But if you can do maybe something more like this, you probably got a phone number coming, right? Okay? All right, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do a stomp, clap, and then left, clap. So it'll go right, clap, left, clap, right? Oh, you guys can dance. That's it. Just don't talk. Just don't talk. When she starts asking questions, just nod. Actually, nodding can be kind of hard. Just say yes, yes. And say yes on 1. Yes. Do you think we should do this? Yes. Yes. Yes, we can have that for dinner. Yes, we can go wherever you want. Right? Just keep moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, see, now that's an advanced move. We can't do that. Okay. We're gonna start with the yes.
Okay.
Never say no, whatever it is.
Right.
Karen, how you doing with this? Now, you hear how I was speeding up there? Oh, we slowed down though. Nice. So we got musicians in this class, right? Everyone heard it. Good job. Okay. So I want you guys to do this to a song now. Here we go. Everyone hear the snare? I wish it was coming out the speakers, but so it be. So let's try doing it to the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Clap, left, clap. Right? Yes. Right? Yes, I'll get that assignment in. Yes, I'll do that song. Yes, whatever you like. 3 minutes, sounds good. Yes, 64 bars. Everyone got it? For those who have taken my class before, what tempo is this? Andante. Probably a slow andante, right? How many beats per minute do people think that is? 90. 90?
Oh, per minute. My bad.
Oops, sorry. little slower, right? 80 beats per minute. Raise your hand if you know this song. Raise your hand if you like it. Raise your hand if you know that it's unusual. Something unusual about this song, right? One of the first things is it's a rock and roll song going 80 beats per minute. Who does that? Not too many people, right? It's unusual. Okay? Kind of does, right? All right, let's change it up a little bit now. Sorry, like I said, most of these are rock because I use them in the rock class. A little faster, right? Models. Number. Right, clap, left, clap, right, clap, left, clap. Everyone's got it, right? Good, Hector? What speed is this? This is andante. This is a walk. If I was walking to class, this is the pace I walk to class. Okay? Andante. Let's check it out here. Right at 100 beats per minute. Okay? This is right in the middle. This song is about nothing but drinking your Miller, right? They don't want you to dance. They don't want you to lay down. They want you to stay right in the middle. It's very comfortable, right? Very comfortable tempo.
Was everybody supposed to go left to right, or are we supposed to mirror you?
It doesn't matter. If you're a lady, you will often start in your left dancing, yes, because you're mirroring, right? Ooh, a little faster, right? So this song is starting to push into allegro, where if we were walking around, we'd have to start moving faster, right? If I'm going to class now, I'm a little bit late. Right? See how I'm walking to walk to this song? Not comfortable. It'd be very uncomfortable if I all do this in class. It makes me want to dance, right? So that song was pushing into allegro. A lot of the songs, 120, that's allegro, okay? Uplifting. This one is not so easy to dance to, by the way. Got the pulse, right? Right, left, right, clap, ready? Get a little sweaty on this one, right? Got it? I think this is about 160. Let's see here. No, it's 180. .180 is about as fast as you can go. If this song went any faster, your ear would cut it in half and hear 100 beats per minute. That's why it's so assertive, right? It's so strong. So we just went from borderline adagio. I'm going to pause that now.
Nate, can you explain what you just said? You said that if you're playing high tempo, your brain cuts in half.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so we just went through a little journey. I'll get right to that, Hector. We went through a little journey. We started down slow at 80 beats per minute. We ended up at 180 beats per minute. Okay? So I'll get into that in just a second. Okay? I think that's kind of what I'm talking about. So that walk, for some reason, it's walking. It's not a heartbeat. It's not a breathing rate. It's walking that makes a song feel faster and slower. It's some sort of physiological, primal thing about legs and running and getting the heck away from something, right? Or chasing down food. When the song is slower than the tempo we walk, it slows us down. When it's faster than the tempo we walk, it speeds us up. 100 beats per minute is about that. It's about that. And it's so strong psychologically. If you take a song and you speed it up, and you get up to about 200 beats per minute, your brain will cut it in half and you'll hear 100 beats per minute. If you slow it down to 50 beats per minute, your brain will double it, and so you hear 100 beats per minute. So that's why music starts to get limited. You'll see ones out there, it's 240 beats per minute, and when you hear it, it sounds like 120. sounds like 120. Because your ear just starts to say, no, I could walk to it this way. And for some reason, we want to walk to it. Does that make sense?
Does it just like merge them together, kind of?
No, it just cuts it in half. And let's listen to that. So I got a little bluegrass one here. Actually, I don't want to play that one quite yet. Hang on, let me pause 1 second. And so I'm going to get to that in just a second. We're going to listen to some songs that are going to start to cut. We'll start to feel that cutting in half. 180 is about as fast as we can go before we start doing that. But before I do that, I want to actually, the next songs we're going to play through, I'm going to start introducing the idea of swing or shuffle. Okay? So those songs we just listened to were all very straight. Right? The notes were cut in half or in quarters or in eighths. Okay? The songs I'm going to play for you now are going to be cut into 3 at some point in the song. Either they'll be in 3/4, meaning 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or they'll be in 6. Yes, waltz. 3/4 is waltz, or they'll be in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dun, 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 dun. Make sense? Both those will move. If I take that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and I speed it up, it'll eventually sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. I'm leaving out the third note, or the second note. I don't have time to hit all 3 notes. I leave out the second one, and I get what is called swing. And swing is like a skipping. And it makes us, when it's fast, want to bounce. Okay? And I think I have some Benny Goodman in there. Okay? Jazz is swing. Jazz is almost all swung. Rock and roll is almost all straight. Hip hop is almost all straight. Sometimes there's some swing in there. We've gotten back to EDM. We're starting to get a little bit more swing feel. Let's see what that sounds like. So I'm going to start with the very slow. Swing song. I think it would be better to snap to this one than to clap. Okay, so we got a 1, 2. Got it? 1, 2. We never clap on beat 1 unless the song calls for it, but rarely do we have the snare on beat 1. This might be a great reason to do a song that way, right? But make the rest of the song normal. Can you guys hear the 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it's in the hi-hat. Does that make sense? Can you feel how the song makes you want to do this? I mean, we're all like, oh, I love you, man, Obed. I'm so glad you're here, right? There's something sentimental when it's slow, right? It's just like, oh. We're using meter to control the listener. We've used tempo. Now we're using meter. If I did that same song slow, it's Kashmir. Kashmir is almost the same tempo as that song. It's very slow, right? But Kashmir was straight. Do, 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 do. And I didn't want to. We weren't doing this. We weren't ready to dance. We were like, yeah, man, this is a good song, right? More militaristic. Does that make sense? Okay, so meter is the second way to control your listener. Let's speed that tempo up a little bit. So people don't get distracted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Clap. So this is an andante in 6/8. Walk, 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 walk. This is just like that AC/DC, but it's swung. It makes you really want to go sideways, doesn't it? Let me switch back to the AC/DC so you can just compare. Almost the same tempo. Straight. None of us are doing this now, right? It's this, right? It makes you want to do this, right? That's the meter changing. That's all it is. Well, a few other things, right? But the main thing between those two songs is the meter. We start to speed up that down. And let me go back to the Huey Lewis just so we get that back in our heads. Not that we really want Huey Lewis back in our heads. Wait, where is it? Thought it was right there. Okay. There it is, sir. I'm just going to watch the video while you guys are dancing. Right? Feel it? That's swingy feel. Da, 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 da. This is unusual. There are not many songs out there that are andante swing. It's usually either slower or faster. This is rare. If we speed that swing up, da 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 da. Eventually we can't play all the notes and we end up, I think this is the one I wanted to play. Does not want to play. Oh, someone deleted their video. Man, that kills me. That's swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? I eventually just drop the 2 and the 5. Everyone, does that make sense to everybody? Anyone have a question on that? And this is what it sounds like. We're almost at the speed of the Nirvana. Let's see how fast we are there. A little faster in the Nirvana. Okay? It's the exact same speed as the Nirvana. Totally different sound, right? Because it's swung. See if you guys can clap to it. And when you dance swing, you can't go that fast. So they go right, left, rock step, right, left, rock step. Because it's too fast, you have to take a pause in there. Right?
What good is music if it ain't possessing something?
Does that make sense to everybody? We're swinging that. What happens when we swing really slow? I'll show you what that sounds like. See if you guys can get the tempo and the meter in this one. This is a really slow song. I haven't done the tempo yet. I'm curious what it is. Right? You hear the drums are going. It's got that skip in it, doesn't it? A reason to use swing when the song goes slow is you have 3 notes to put in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I got more space. I'm going slow. I can fit more notes in. I can fit in 3 instead of just 2. Does that make sense? Let's see what the tempo is of this one. $60 beats per minute. Yeah.
You decide to go double time, or you decide to speed it up, but you don't put your notes, you lengthen them out.
So double time on this would be, so double time in this song, what you would do is you take that kick, snare that they're doing and do it twice fast. Kick, snare, kick, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom. If they slowed this song down, so this is 60 beats per minute. If they slowed it down another 10 beats per minute, your ear would start to do that automatically. Your brain doesn't want to go much. This is slow, right? Can you guys feel how it's really, like we're all just like, yeah. I mean, in fact, none of us are dancing, are we? We all stopped. The music's doing that to us, right? And a damn good song, right? Yeah, so we're listening. Tempo is not the quality of the song. Tempo is what how we're gonna make people rhythmically respond to, physiologically respond to that song. Does that work for everyone? Yeah. Okay. All right, I think we're done. Thank you, models. Great job. So what I want, I'm going to go ahead and just stop the recording there so that you can refer back to that if you'd like.